Hello, Taurus. This is a reading for all Taurus placements of Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. My name is Melissa. Welcome to my channel. In the description box below, you will find a list of different links. Some of them are to my personal website, which is for my store, which is Lady Magdalene's Mercantile. You may also find links to my social media as well. If you'd like to book a personal reading, that is also in the link. I'm offering two different types right now. One is a 20-minute one, and one is an hour-long natal chart and an astrological reading. I will never approach you on any type of social media and say you should really have a reading. I believe that if you are called to me and you are feeling like a need to have a reading done by myself, then so it is, right? That whole idea of approaching people is just gross to me, and usually it's fake. So that being said, this is for December 15th through the 31st. However, if this comes to you, Taurus, at a different time, then it's meant for you. So starting off, we have the King of Wands. Oh, and I was going to tell you too, the bottom of the deck was the Ace of Swords, okay? So it looks like we've got some new sort of communication and new intellection. Maybe a new idea is starting to form in your head. So really, we're constantly in change, right? There's a big difference between stability and stagnancy, and I talk about this all the time. If you are stagnant in life just because a paycheck is stable, then you need to reevaluate what your purpose is, okay? So you are showing up as the King of Wands, which tells me that you're pretty much on fire for whatever it is that you're doing right now. You're pretty much on your purpose, and really you can't think about like, we're always growing, we're always evolving, we're always trying to get wiser. I know I definitely in my 45 years of age have gotten wiser, especially over the last 10 years. So that's how you're showing up. Just remember, there's never a time to stop learning. You should always be learning. What's showing up in conflict here is the Star card. You may feel like you've lost a little bit of hope. Maybe the journey hasn't been as pleasant as you have wanted it to be. Of course, as a Taurus, you would never show that out loud, but maybe the journey hasn't been as pleasant for you as you'd like it to be, and you have forgotten that you need to stay connected to Source, stay connected to Spirit or God or whatever you call it, okay? For me, it's God. Sometimes you need to ask God for a little bit of help, and truly, when you do that, things seem to manage a little bit better, okay? The root of the problem is a Tower moment. Now, this has been coming out in all of my readings, really. I think a lot of us are going through the processes of different changes. I know people get really nervous about this because it's an unexpected change. This is the root of the problem. The root of the problem is an unexpected change. And it's possible that a lot of us are experiencing different changes right now, between career, the dollar, grocery prices, all of these different things. There's a lot of different things happening right now. And sometimes, Taurus, we don't do really well with change. We have a really hard time with it. We like to slowly change things. We don't like to just change that quickly. So in the past, we have the Knight of Swords. So it's possible you were, full steam ahead, with this idea in your mind and this intellect and this knowledge in your head. And it's possible that that is what has thwarted you to where you are now with this lack of hope. Because maybe along the way you've kind of forgotten to have a little faith, okay? In your subconscious, we have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess there, she is all-knowing. She is the birther of ideas. She is the birther of intuition. And it's possible that you're feeling intuitively of what other people's feelings are. Just keep in mind, other people's businesses are not your business. Other people's property is not your property. Other people's mental property is not your property. I imagine if you're watching this, you are probably a type of empath. There's tons of different kinds. And chances are you're an empath because you had to deal with trauma, right? And we had to learn to walk into a room and read the room so we knew how to act so that we would be treated fairly, right? So it's possible that using your intuition, you've gotten so wrapped up in using your intuition that sometimes you're feeling other people's stuff and you're keeping it with you. So make sure you take the time to release it every day, okay? I use obsidian and black tourmaline like crazy. All right. In the direct future, we have the Magician, which tells me it is possible for you to manifest whatever it is your heart desires. If you need to manifest money, then you need to start that vortex. 8 is my favorite number, and you can see there's an 8 over, which is the infinity symbol, okay? Literally using all of the elements, not just your intuition, but your feelings, your monetary system, your intellect, your passion, your desire, literally using all of those things to create exactly what it is that you want, okay? Very, very important. So in the direct future, how you're showing up as the Hermit. So this is really, you have to look at things very logically. The Hermit holds the lantern for others, and I feel like, you know, the gray is the cloak of neutrality. So when you're holding the light for people to, you know, be better, do better, whether it's in work or in your relationships or whatever, when you're holding the light for people, you are a neutral party. And sometimes you're just trying to get right with your own spirit. And once you're right with your own spirit, whatever's happening around you, it just doesn't matter. It just really doesn't matter. And you're okay with it. And that helps us kind of deflect from that empath sort of feeling, okay? What's going on around you is the King of Swords. There's someone around you that's very wise, that's kind of whispering in your ear. Could be a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius. And also they just could have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius in one of the certain positions in their chart, okay? It might be how they love. It might be how they speak. It might be how they think or their emotions. But these people surrounding you are really, really kind of floating your boat and really, really trying to influence you with their words. Just remember, as the Hermit, you're staying neutral, right? You're staying neutral in your feelings. You're staying neutral in the process because you really want to do what's right for you, okay? And what's doing right for you will be right for others long term. In your hopes and fears, we have the 7 of Pentacles, okay? Who's not worried about money at this point? But this is really someone looking at what they've produced and the idea of what they've produced monetarily and like, you know, money-wise, relationships, really looking at what they've produced, and they're watering the seeds that they've planted, okay? So it's possible that you need to dig a little deeper. Maybe you need to throw a little money into something. You know, I'm not excellent in talking about investments at this point. It's definitely something that I'm learning about, but you know, maybe you need to look at your investment and see where to invest just a tad bit more to make your business grow, or maybe you need to invest a tad bit more to make your relationship grow, okay? Final outcome, we have the 7 of Swords, which tells me, you know, the 6 of Swords is you're moving on. You're taking the kids and moving on. The 7 of Swords tells me that you're moving pretty quickly and you don't know whether you're coming or going. And you need to be really honest with yourself. Sometimes we can be a little deceptive of ourselves when we're using our empathic ways and our intuition. We can really fool ourselves into thinking things. So we need to be really honest with ourselves long term to see, you know, what the end game is, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and clarify a little bit here. I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot to clarify. So tell me a little bit about this King of Wands. How you're showing up, Taurus. You're showing up as the Hermit too. So yeah, you are getting spiritually right. You're like pulling yourself together to be the best person possible. That might be introverted. And I will tell you, even as a Taurus sun, like I'm a Taurus Mercury too. Like I am literally so introverted right now. I have not gone to any parties. Like I am so introverted right now, but it's because I'm really protecting my peace. And I think it's important for you, Taurus, to protect your peace right now. Tell me a little bit more about this Aquarius card and hope. 10 of Swords. You might be walking away for something. You might be walking away from the Aquarius nature of your business or your relationship. But I'm hoping that you're not pulling away from hope. And as you can see, this person is walking away from, what I think is really happening is you're walking away from your bad thoughts. Okay, this is all of your bad thoughts. And I feel like you're walking away from that and into the light and making sure that you really have some hope about what's happening next, because everything is better with hope. Tell me a little bit about this Tower moment. That's the root of the problem. A little bit about this Tower moment. Thank you, Spirit. 9 of Swords, it's kind of in your head. It seems like the Tower moment is in your head. So it's possible we might have a Tower moment, whatever, that might be in your head, but also maybe take the time to really practice gratitude. I feel like some of us get so busy working on everything else that we forget to, thank you, God, for the air that I breathe. Thank you, God, for, my warm, fuzzy sheets. Thank you, God, for the people that love me and show up for me every day. Like, that's really something beautiful that we really need to practice. In the Knight of Swords in the past, sorry, I'm a little emotional about that. Looks like we had some bondage. So when you had the Knight of Swords in the past, it's possible that you were sharing ideas and coming up with ideas and these ideas didn't work, and it's creating some of this mental bondage that we're having right now. But again, you can see she's not really bound. This is just herself looking at herself in the mirror. She really has no bounds. There is no glass ceiling, there is no stopping when you are doing something that you are walking in passion with as the King of Wands. When you are showing up as the King of Wands and you are walking in your passion and you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, there is no stopping you, okay? You just have to keep going. I just heard, just keep going. I just heard that, like literally a whisper, like from divine, just keep going, okay? So with the High Priestess in your subconscious, let's look a little bit at that. It's possible that you're a reader too. If you are, lucky you. This is to me the work smarter, not harder card. And I think to me, when you are looking at these two paired together, when you are looking at working smarter and not harder, again, I really want you to focus on the fact that you are the birther of things, right? You are the dream maker. You are the, you know what other people need at certain times. And you need to work smarter at that, not harder. We are not lifesavers. We do not save people's lives with our actions per se. Like, we're not nurses, doctors, etc. But the amount of energy that we put into somebody's bad ideas, or the amount of energy that we put into someone's negativity, is really a correlation in what you do for yourself. So if you have people around you that are that you are constantly like pulling out of the gutter all the time, then maybe it's time to reevaluate the amount of work that you put into that person. I'm not saying that you cut them off completely, but what I am saying is there is a time where you need to kind of draw a boundary, right? And be like, I'm not really gonna, I don't have space to listen to that today, if that's okay. And I would just leave it at that. In the direct future, you are a magician and you're about to make magical things happen. So make sure you have your wishes in order. Ooh, we have the World card. So it's possible you have the end of a cycle and something very, very new starting up. I feel like this is another leg for you, like another stream of income, another new divine partnership even. I feel like there's a lot of different things that can happen here when you're trying to manifest, and you've got the World card right there at your fingertips. I love that. The way you're showing up as the Hermit in the end, let's look at that. Let's clarify that a little bit. You have the Three of Cups. So this tells me when you're showing up as the Hermit, you are definitely divinely supported, okay? There is something to be said about networking. I think it was this last year, Minopon Tarot, shout out Minopon Tarot. Chris is talking a lot about networking and how it's so important to do that. This year has been all about collaboration over competition. And when you are working with the right people who have the same mindset as you in terms of holding the light for others, there is nothing that you can't do. You learn so much more. You embrace so much more, and you also let go of a lot of things that aren't serving you when you're working in a collective group, okay? The King of Swords, that is the surrounding energy. Again, let's kind of clarify that a little bit. King of Swords. What's going on with this King of Swords around me? Around Taurus? Around everyone? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. Page of Cups. This could be a new business partner, but just be forewarned, it might be a little fleeting, okay? When I talk about networking, it's important to get your name out there, but when you build relationships, especially in business, when you build relationships with people or in love relationships, take it slow and steady, okay? This is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This happens to be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. So if there's somebody in this range that's working around you, just know it's going to be a slow and steady build. That's the healthiest way to build. These fast-moving relationships aren't going to get you anywhere. Coming in with the Seven of Pentacles, your hopes and fears. Can we get a little clarification on that? Stagnancy versus stability. Five of Cups. Feeling a little remorseful maybe. Maybe you're looking in the past. I don't feel like you're completely looking in the past, but I do feel like you're feeling a little bit of remorse of maybe not choosing a different path. And the reality is, you know, I think you were meant to not choose that path. And maybe that's why you're concerned about feeling stagnant here. Just make sure you continue to water the seeds you've planted, even in times of like, oh, maybe woulda, shoulda, coulda. You can see she's kind of pouring a little more water into the bowl there, into the what could have happened. And actually, to me, this is death. Like, she's pouring more on something that's already happened in the past. Like, who cares? It's the past. It's not gonna improve your life anymore. I'm a firm believer in, you know, whatever happened in the past is truly in the past, and there's no reason to revisit it. So I think that's really, truly important. What's going on with this deceptive Seven of Swords card? Are we fooling ourselves? Whoa. Seven of Swords on the Seven of Swords. So I'm going to get in the book here because I'm going to look at both books. So this Seven of Swords has to deal with a thief carries 5 swords away in the hopes of using them for his own profit. He leaves 2 behind in his haste to escape. Secrecy and stealth. So again, don't fool yourself into thinking that you can do everything all by yourself, okay? I think there's something to be said, like I said about the networking. There's something to be said about it, and don't think that you can do everything yourself. I'm going to read from the other book too. I think it's important. Swords. The upright. Deception or betrayal, taking only what's needed. The universe bearing witness to the true intentions, getting away with something and being strategic, being grateful for the resources you have and moving silently. I act from a place of love and morality, and the universe witnesses my honest intention. So again, do not fool yourself into thinking that, oh, it's just my intuition. Like, really look at logically what you're doing. If you need spreadsheets, make the spreadsheets. If you need to bounce an idea off a mentor, like this King of Swords, then maybe you need to bounce your idea off a mentor. Okay? So I'm going to look at the first 4 houses for you, and I'm going to pull an oracle card for those first 4 houses, okay? This is something a little different I've been doing. I like it. So what's in the first house for Taurus? What can we support them with? First house of Taurus. First house is doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. So again, I don't think you need to go to college to have an abundant, successful life, okay? The self-doubt that you could be carrying right now is your old past kind of etching away at you. It's kind of picking an old scab. There is no reason for you to move forward with self-doubt. You have done this well so far, and there's amazing, more beautiful, wonderful days ahead. So just know that, okay? In the second house, what can we tell Taurus about their second house right now? Growth, okay, financial stability. I want to expand consciousness and awareness. So in doing so, your stability, your pleasures in life, your job, like this, you're meant to have some growth. I love that for you. What's in the third house of communication for Taurus? What's in the third house of communication? Freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. So to me, this is telling you, do not let your words and self-talk create cages for you. Do not let your words bind you. I think we had that in the past. Yeah, we had that with the 8 of Swords in the past. Communicate freely. Let the words roll off of your tongue. Feel free to expand on what your dreams and hopes and visions are. If you want a car that is red, say you want that red car. Literally speak out into the universe what it is that you want. You'll be amazed at how much freedom you will get, because really, that's what we all want, right? Okay, moving into the 4th house of family. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Purple. So to me, this is about, being unapologetic when you're loving people in your family, and that means friends and family, I think. I feel like it's being unapologetic, being honest with them. That goes with the communication there, and enjoying the time with them. Have fun with them, okay? I'm going to do one more house. Let's do the 5th house. 5th house, Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So when you're dealing with people in the 5th house and your relationships, there will be judgment, okay? That's just how life is. Just know that in your own, make sure before you're pointing the finger at others that you remember that you have a few pointing back at yourself, and make sure that you're being the hermit and being neutral when things come out. We might have some familial arguments coming in over the last couple of weeks of December. Hello, it's the holidays. We all argue, and then we figure out why we love each other again, right? So just know there might be a little bit of argument. There also might be some legal things that happen, and maybe that's just going to happen in your favor, okay? So that's all I got for you, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Again, if you need something a little more specific, then go ahead and you can email me or get to one of the links in my description box below. And I look forward to doing a reading for you. I'm going to be doing a full year reading too, for 2023, and what you can look forward to in 2023. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Toodaloo.